Okay, we're going to work on some beginning photo editing techniques with Pixlr at pixlr.com. Basically, an online version of something like a Photoshop, but it's free and anybody can use it. So let's start off with some basic ideas. Let's say you have a background that you want to remove. Pretty straightforward here. You just have to go over here, and after you've loaded in a picture, and that's pretty much from the start menu, easy to do. You just double click on the lock to unlock it. You come over here to your magic wand, you click somewhere in the background and hit delete. Come over here on this side, click somewhere to hit delete. And then as you go to file, you say file and save. And you would choose save that as a PNG transparent instead of a JPEG. And then you just hit save and save it to one of your files that you want to put it in. And you've now got a PNG file as opposed to a JPEG that has a background in it. I'm just going to hit cancel for a moment. I'll leave this like this. Let's talk about some other techniques. There's eraser tools and brush tools and things like that. Eraser, one thing I'll tell you is most tools you can't use if something is selected. So you can either go to edit and deselect all, or there's other ways to do that. But now I'm ready to use some of these other tools. Here's one that we worked on in class just for fun. We're going to take what's called the marquee tool. And for a moment, I'll just take it and I'll make a rectangle around his good arm. And then I'm going to edit, copy, edit, paste. And it makes a new layer over here. Now, it'll show up depending on what I'm saying. If I'm on layer 1 or layer 0, I edit layer 0. If I'm on layer 1, I edit layer 1. If I don't want to see one of them because it's disturbing me, I just turn it off by clicking it on and off here over in the box. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do, since I've highlighted layer 1, I'm going to go to what's called free transform. And once I go to free transform, I can actually grab one of the sides and I can flip that thing around. Now, as you notice, when you saw that, it can get much bigger. But I'm going to flip it around. I'll see what it looks like over here. That looks about the same as the other sides. This is for rotation. So I don't move it by this. I grab anywhere else. I come up here and I'm just going to try to maybe line it up a little bit with my other shoulder and line the t-shirt up down here. You see the t-shirt coming down and the shoulder coming in. And then I can just click off of it. It'll say, do you want to make these changes? And you say yes. And you're going, well, how do I get rid of the arm? And again, let's talk about beginning techniques for a moment. You just go down here and pick up your eyedropper, pick up a brush. I generally like to take the opacity down a little bit. Maybe I'll take it down to somewhere 50, 60 area somewhere. I'm going to leave the brush the size it is right now. And literally, I can just start using that brush to start taking his arm out of the picture. And the more things I cover up with it, the less you'll be able to see. Okay, so I'm just going to take his brush out of the picture. Maybe I said that's way too dark, so I'll just grab the eyedropper and I'll grab another one somewhere in here. And I'll again just go back to the brush again. And I'll just take some of that out of the picture too. And maybe I'll blur this edge a little bit here so it doesn't quite stand out so much. And again, I'm just keeping the covering over it. And you can switch colors again at some point in time. And maybe I'll just grab one more color here from the middle, maybe just a little darker this time. Go back and grab my brush, maybe shrink the size of my brush by going up here. And I'll just hit brush and click off of that again. Now maybe I'll just pull a little darker one down through here to maybe see if I can extend this little bit here. Maybe extend this little bit here, and maybe extend this little one over here a little bit. So all I got left is this cast on the outside. So again, we switch to our eraser. And again, it's set here, so I can just go in there with the eraser. Again, edit, deselect all if one of them doesn't work. And, oh, I got to be on the right layer. So I click over here on layer 0. And even if I want to, I can use my zoom feature and zoom in. And then I can either pull it where I want it with the red box, or I can use the little controls down here. I'll drop my brush size on my eraser down a little bit here. Maybe I'll drop it down to 15. Click on brush again, and now I'll come in and I'll just take out some of that cast that was on the outside. So I just kind of zip around. Now I could probably get away with using magic wand. I'm not sure, but let's try it. Let's go magic wand. Let's click. No, you see how it eats into his arm? Can't do that. So let's go back to brush, edit, deselect all again, and come in here and just take out the rest of the cast that's over here. You can be pretty fine as you work in here. And I won't maybe take it all out. I think you get the drift of what's going on here. You bring it in and you can make the picture, zoom in as large as you want. You can also go as small as you want with the brush, and you can actually get pretty fine. And so I'm just going to go in here and take out the rest of the cast. And if we flip back to a regular view here, you'll see that not too bad. I've looked like I've fixed his broken arm a moment, which is kind of what I was attempting to do. I'll flip back to layer 1 here, just because that's the one I've been painting on. I'll still pop in a little bit. And you see I've got a couple things I could probably fix here. So I've already got this brush and I've already got this thing going on. I'll just grab my brush again. My opacity is still at 57. I'll just kind of connect these two over here. Lock them in. Make sure that's good. Come up here and blend this into this way. And again, so probably in about 5 minutes we fix this dude's broken arm. So that's one quick idea of some Photoshop online. Thanks.